fucking idea at the end of it where we say, you know what? We like this distribution. I think that people who are playing a role in the creation of this product should have a say. That is my point.
If we listened to streamers on how this shit should be run, this shit would have the lights turned off and Amazon would have pulled out
there has
years
to
ago.
Be that's why
streamers are bricked. They shouldn't.
Listen,
it's not just streamers.
Brain dead.
This idea where it has to be one or the other is the issue. Do you understand? There can be a middle ground. There can be a
Train is right.
Train
is fucking right.
Compromise.
Because why? Because why? When they made that distribution, they wanted to improve their profit margin. Why did they improve their profit margin? Because Amazon wants the profits to go up, because right now Twitch is in the red because web serving is web hosting for live streamed video, an inventory that is untapped basically with so many opportunities to fucking run ads, is currently not running enough ads and giving them enough revenue. That is why they made this change. Now, ultimately, streamers will make more
on their failed system. Do you understand? They need to come together and find a system which doesn't punish the work. Where are they taking the punishment? Do you understand? Aside from these firings, which you'd argue is also another form of the worker taking the hit. They need to better their business model. Do you understand? Everyone that's taking a hit because of their shit business model is the worker. That is a mistake. Do you understand? It is wrong. Shit like that should be fought against. We should have voices, whether it's on a panel, whether it's at a round table. We need to have voices to combat that. That's bullshit. You understand? That's greed. That's unfair.
We tried
it's not right.
Talking to them. You know what? You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Okay, that streamers are fucking dumb. At the meetings, the only feedback we got from fucking big names, like Tele1, is where's the 20-minute ad button? Is the fucking feedback he gave them? We're all
That's insane.
Because the power can't be, right? Like the issue is this, right? For some reason, all of our issues are fought with two polarizing viewpoints, right? We either have all the way over here or all the way over here. We need to have a ground of, right, a place of discourse where we can come in the middle and say, okay, you know what? Let's compromise. Let's grab, the shit that we need to do here. Hey, we'll take that L. We'll take that. But we're going to need this. These guys go, okay, well, we're going to need this, but we're going to take this. We go, okay, we've come to an agreement. That's what needs to happen. But this idea where they take, and it has to be this or this is our issue in everything today. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Everything having to be one side or the other is an issue. It causes so much divide.
And meanwhile, while we're having this back and forth, while we're having this back and forth, you know who's not taking a fucking hit, dude? The bosses, the people that have Amazon stock, the fucking wealthy Jeff Bezos. He doesn't give a fuck. He's caked up, okay? It doesn't even matter to him.
Because they make money off the fucking bots at the Amazon fucking delivery service that are working with crazy conditions with profit, and then they acquired Twitch, right? But Twitch, this shit is broke. This shit isn't turning a profit. Well, where do you live in this operation that makes a profit? For them, it's an investment.
Twitch is not turning profit exclusively because Amazon literally treats Twitch as a money-making operation instead of offering it more favorable video hosting fucking server costs.
AWS and IBS, yes.
Yeah. Amazon could internally swap over. If Amazon truly cared about Twitch being a profitable venture, they could literally swap over server costs to offset it off of one of the many other profitable ventures that they have. They're not doing that because they don't want to do that, because they want to increase the pressure on content creators and maybe even possibly take a risk on making the content unwatchable by delivering even more ads to the fucking viewers.
Bro, that's like me saying, yo, I grow my garden green beans and I sell green beans at the market, right? Well, now I hired 20 employees to build houses, right? But we're not doing a profit because I'm feeding them green beans I could be selling. Well, in that case, just
wait. That's precisely. Wait. That's how all business works. No, that's how all business works. That's how all business works. What you're describing is quite literally how businesses work regardless. Now, either it could be funded by this like endless money supply of constantly fucking raising funds with the ultimate goal of like turning profits someday, whether it be by monopolizing a certain sector like Amazon has done in the form of e-commerce, or any other way by making a competitive product that people actually want to fucking buy. That is literally what businesses do. That's why they fucking take an L year over year over year over year. You think Amazon gives a fuck about Twitch ultimately? You think they're in it for like the love of the game? You think they bought Twitch because they think like, oh man, Jeff Bezos just really loves live streaming. That's why he did it.
For Amazon, this whole thing would be over.
What?
This is a money sinkhole. If it wasn't for
Amazon, not a money sinkhole. It's a bet. It's a bet. It's a bet that Amazon has made, thinking, and I think that I agree with their assessment of the situation. It's a bet that they've made. Okay, they think that they can monopolize the live streaming space. Amazon only does vertical and horizontal integration. They only monopolize. They don't do anything else. They don't have any other interest. They don't have any other goals. That's all they want to do. They want to corner the market so they can set the fucking prices, slowly but surely increasing the fucking wages or maybe lowering the quality of the output. Okay, that's how they did it on e-commerce, and that's like they literally drove small business out of work and then bought them for pennies on the dollar. And that's precisely what they're trying to do with the live streaming space, ultimately so they can just eke out more profits when they are the premium live streaming destination.
As much as we should fight to remodel the initial interest, right? And try to make it better, right? I think we can still acknowledge that they bought the thing, right? And overall, what did we get? We got Prime subs and shit, right? We got to keep the lights on and continue this like passion project, right? So yes, we should push, right? But still acknowledge the fact that the lights are still on, that we can still do this shit. When will people understand this?
The idea that
this will be over by now.
The idea that like there's no other way to do live streaming services, I think without like Big Daddy Amazon is not a correct notion in my opinion.
Oh, who else then? As Zuba tried it. Owen3 tried it. Who else tried it? Hitbox.
YouTube is doing it currently.
Because it's the same thing as Amazon, but they already have the fucking servers because of how much video content that they had and their workload. They already had the servers. That's
you know who's doing it? That motherfucker sitting next to me on my screen. That guy's doing it.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. Fucking.
Wait, I'm doing what? Sorry,
Bro, I'm fucking juicing up Kick so hard. Okay, once you figure out the regulation on the platform, it's over. It's a wrap. I'm ready for that $100 million contract so I can start preaching the laurels of capitalism.
Completely new.
Really?
He's not even listening.
Yeah.
When I was at the club, I heard something else, but maybe.
Yeah. So initially that was the plan, but we decided to completely recreate everything because we thought that platform's brand was just like we thought like that was too far. That was like kind of trash.
What? What are you talking? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nah. We were talking about the network infrastructure for fucking Kicks. I knew. I
think video XUC is not wrong though. I do think that video service, video hosting is incredibly expensive. They just haven't been able to figure out the best possible product of making it work. Like there's so much inventory that you are literally not monetizing right now. That's why they want.
I wish
ads.
I could tell you our plan regarding certain like sponsors, and everyone keeps thinking, oh, you're gonna do porn or Trojan sponsors. No, that those sponsors pay absolute shit rates. So that wouldn't cover anything at all close to what we need it to. Like it's just targeting the correct. Fuck, how can I?
Well, let's end it.
It's targeting the correct sponsors and the correct advertisers, right? So people are going to jump into gambling. That's not it either. And I think when we get ads, I think you'll understand where we're coming from. Like once that happens in the next 2 to 3 years, that's when people will understand, that business model and that approach. But anyways, I think before you speak, XQC, I think you and I agree on a lot, on a lot of. I think we agree with almost everything as far as like, the politics go. Obviously, I'm a little bit more middle. I believe in the polarizing sides are actually the reason where we are in today's world. I think it's just divide and conquer for each respective side. Obviously, given the left is a lesser evil, but I think once you justify lesser from greater, things start getting real fucked up. But anyways, to get to my point, I just think that we need to find better ways, right? So for the streaming thing, right? For the smaller to mid-sized creators getting fucked, like I do think that if we came together, or whoever it might be, it's not just on you, right? It could be a multitude of streamers, right, that come together and spearhead something that gives a voice, and not only gives a voice, but actually, right? For me, it's the action over the words. We need to push for ways where we're actually getting shit done, because preaching isn't enough, especially if from the preaching we're gaining, right? It's fine. Like to say that we shouldn't gain from the preaching, I think is an unrealistic standard and unfair. But I think if we're in a position where we're preaching and gaining, we need to take it one step further and try and bring that action into it to see actual change come through. Now, it may seem impossible as individuals, but I do think we're powerful enough to make these things happen. And that's what I like to see. So maybe in the future, you and I will get together and we'll come up with some crazy shit.
Bro,
and we'll get
you're sounding a lot like socialists right now. It's weird, man.
You're gonna have to talk to Mr. Bezos, okay?
Who's
because
that?
Fucking Jeff Bezos, man. You have to talk to him about it, man. Because
No,
listen,
we're not talk to him, bro. We have our own leverages.
Listen,
trust me.
Listen, the thing is though, is that I do agree though. I do agree that there needs to be some change. In my opinion, I don't think a lot of people are evil at the top. Is that monetizing and keeping the lights on for live stream operations and esports operations is incredibly difficult, and we just don't have the answers, and they don't have them either.
They don't have them. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you there, and I think that is a literal product problem.
Yes,
what you're describing is one that a more democratized system of governance would genuinely benefit from. More ideas in this regard. More ideas in this regard. And different ways to like incorporate people into whatever kind of like monetizable products that we can put forward is literally the way forward. In my opinion, it's the best way to do it. And that is, and that's never going to happen because, that's just not how the system is designed.
We can make we can make a parallel with this with esports. I wish people sat down and understood this fucking problem. Okay. Esports fucking sucks dick. Okay. Why? Because people don't buy shit, and they're not doing a profit because they are having problems monetizing their operations. So you're gonna go at fucking Riot Games, yo, we bought a spot in the fucking in the franchise of Valorant, and we can't make money, and it's your fault. No, they don't have the answers. Nobody does. They have failed as an entity, as a product, to turn their operations into making money for the people that watch, the fans. It just sucks. They don't have the answers, and there's nobody to blame for that.
It's because the answers don't lie in each respective extreme side. I'm telling you, I know I sound like a fucking crazy centrist, but I'm telling you, we need to get to a place where we abandon these fucking sides and come in the middle and grab the best of both. I know this sounds idealistic, but I do think it's possible. We need to operate from a place of logic and reason. And only then can we reach a point of compromise where the business can make money and not at the cost of the worker. Do you understand? This is achievable. The problem is corporate greed, and the greed of one respective side is outweighing the needs of the other. I'm telling you, the day that we come together and we operate from a more logical, reasonable place instead of a divide and conquer political bullshit place where we're fucking scaring one side from the other through fucking propaganda and bullshit, until that goes away and we come in the middle and we say, okay, you know what? We understand that, maybe these policies and these, whatever are necessary for the country to run, but we shouldn't adopt them at the, cost of the worker. That's what needs to happen. Do you understand? The problem is we're trying to find a solution on one side. Do you understand? It's not going to happen.
True.
Do you understand that?
Well, I mean, yes, on top of that, I mean, I'm gonna double glaze because listen, the core concept is live streaming is the future. Okay, all of this is the future. There is infinite value in live content. People are starting to realize that, but instead of doubling down on the, let's say, investment or operations, they're doing the opposite. They're trying to make more money out of it and turn a profit in a growing field that's one tested and will continue to grow. And I think that's a problem. Somebody needs to go on the phone with Jeff Bezos, okay, and say, "Yo, motherfucker, how about give it a couple more years, right? Of more prolific creators for people to create more, to have more passion and have better job security in their field, to do this. So it grows faster and bigger.
Ultimately, yeah,
and
but
then
ultimately it should
profits-
not, that decision-making process should not be left up to some mother sucker, in your words, that doesn't know anything about this process, and that's the point. Or like dickheads that are fucking 65 years old and still use like a payphone. You know what I mean? Because those are the guys who are at the tippy top. Those are the guys who are making the decisions on what happens. When Jeff Bezos was in that fucking in that monopoly meeting in front of Congress, they were like, they asked him about Twitch, and he's like, "What's Twitch?" They asked him about DMCA and music and Twitch, and he was like, "Twitch, let me go through my notes."
You're being a hypocrite.
Wait, what?
Why are you making fun of the old fucking bones that are brain dead? Instead, sit down with them and educate them. They would love. Jeff Bezos is getting old. You know that you would love to have.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. But the people, but the point is, the only people who can like get access to them and educate them, which is precisely what I said, is someone like myself. And it shouldn't be that way. That our understanding should be dramatically different. That like everyone everyone plays a role, and everyone should have a little bit of a say. It doesn't mean that like the janitor is going to do fucking brain surgery in the hospital. It just means that as far as sanitation goes, they have that covered better than the fucking surgeon would know. That's the point. And a part of that is about a fairer distribution of profits after all things are discussed clearly. That's it.
Then how do I make Dan Clancy call up Jeff Bezos and have me, yo, I'm gonna go to his yacht and explain to him all these content, and then
I feel like Dan Clancy is probably better off never talking to Jeff Bezos, because if Jeff Bezos even was made aware of Twitch as a platform, I feel like he would just eviscerate us. He would probably he'd probably laser Dan Clancy off of his fucking yacht in his like little mecca that he has, and then he would just shut down Twitch in its entirety. So it's better, the less he knows about us, the better it is, I think.
Really? Bro, I could have this grandiose speech. Bro, people need to understand that live content is the genuine future of media. It is a dank, has infinite possibilities in all realms that they can even fathom. Live content. So why are they cutting its legs off before we can start running?
By the way, notice how we're talking about Jeff Bezos, even though he's not even the fucking CEO anymore. It's Andy Jassy that's now the CEO. That is, no, remember, that's what's important, because you know who's making money off of Twitch? Or if Twitch doesn't really make that much money, but you know who's making money off Amazon? Jeff Bezos. Why? Yeah. That motherfucker hasn't been doing shit since he decided to turn this into like an online library system.
Bro, I thought he gave half of his shit to his wife.
Yeah, well, he did, and then she's now using it on charity overall, which for some reason it still hasn't solved our economic inequality. But again, it doesn't fucking matter. He's still minting. Okay.
I got to say this real quick on off topic. Fuck you, Los Angeles Dodgers, for losing. I would have won 40 million if you would have won.
Yeah, we're on 35 mil off of that shit. That's just crazy.
40 mil if Dodgers. How the fuck do you lose to the Rockies? Despicable, disgusting. Like, have some fucking shame. Holy fuck! It's the first game of the spring training goddamn season, and you're fucking losing to the Rockies, the Colorado fucking Rockies. Disgusting.
It's their fault, and not you putting down a biblical amount of money on spring training.
No, I put $500 on like a 300,000.
Now they're all twisted.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a false reality. But
I don't know enough about betting. But why the fuck are you betting on spring training, dog? What the fuck,
brother? Listen, it's a disease.
That's what the money is at. Okay, listen. So wait. So who's at the top now?
Andy Jassy is now the new CEO of.
Who is that? Amazon. Andy Jassy.
I think he was on a different part. He was working on a different part of Amazon beforehand.
Is he rich?
Yeah, he was the Amazon. He was the SVP, the strategic vice president, and the CEO of AWS before that, from 2003 to 2021, which is like the most important product that they have. So that's why they put him that's why they elevated him to the CEO position.
Bro, he's not even a billionaire. Oh my god. Bro, Jeff Bezos is like a trillionaire. He can literally fucking fix the world, man. It's way more valuable to talk with this guy to fix Twitch than this fucking guy who only has 300 mil. He's broke. How is he gonna fix it?
Jesus, I'm richer than that guy. I'm just kidding. But anyways, realistically speaking, listen, I think at the end of the day, we just need to.
Yeah, I think you guys both have like I have a lot of money, okay, in comparison to the average person, but I think like your perception is a little bit warped about wealth overall, okay? Like,
well, how is it gonna fix Twitch, which is the future of the world?
How much money you got? Like 10, 20 mil? You got at least 30 mil in the bank, yeah?
No, dude, you're fucking insane.
I'm fucking with you. I'm totally fucking with you.
Oh.
If I had to put a number on it, I'd say like after taxes, maybe like a cool 6 mil in the bank. There's no shot.
Brother, you are six. That's like half of what I have actually. I've tripled that.
I'm confused.
My man.
Yeah, man. 6 is so. Bro, people think I own a fucking people think I bought this house like literally cash. Like like I said, I have a lot more money than the average person.
Well, to be fair,
I've literally put a fucking down payment and bought it with a mortgage. Like I have a mortgage.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that would be stupid of you to purchase that entire house with full cash, right? Like if you had that kind of money, it's there's other ways you would go about that. So technically speaking,
you lose purchasing power and other things. That's not good.
No, I know. I'm saying that people that were
right
chirping at me and still chirp at me all the time, literally are like, why don't you take the $3 million and like, and live in a cardboard and instead like, pay $3 million to me.
I bought the house as cash. It was cheap as fuck. I didn't give a shit.
Those extreme takes are unfortunate, unfair. Realistically, listen, bro. One of these days, you and I will get together. We'll create some sort of system or push for one, right? Not a charity, something where we actually advocate for something and push for something and get it done to match the words. And then the next thing you know, who knows? Maybe we'll be president and vice president. We'll be running the country. God knows.
Yeah,
who knows what happens from this point?
I doubt that anyone's letting me be anywhere near real power. But
brother,
but it's been look. I've been live for 10 hours.
Wait, hold on. If Donald Trump made it, listen. Okay, anything's possible.
Yeah, because Donald Trump is right wing. It's infinitely easier to be a fucking clown ass and be right wing. Like as far as like Joe Biden's criticisms, which he deserves many of, like he also is like kind of fucking conservative, but he still went through the proper fucking ranks in the Democratic Party. He advocated to fucking melt the poor.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this.
He was the architect of the crime bill.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I really, really I'm telling you. The only future I see where we're actually progressing as a society is the one where a centrist is in charge. And I'm not talking about some spineless centrist. I'm referring to one that's guided by logic and reason. I truly believe it. These political sides are both just fucking. I'm telling you. Listen, y'all can hate me. Listen, just wait. In 20 years, there'll be a fucking statue of me.
Bro,
okay?
there's no. Dude,
in my opinion, if you're full left on both economics, politics, socioeconomic, if you're full left or full right,
we have a centrist in charge
on all topics. You know what? I think you are a radicalized moron. No way everybody accepts all the concepts of like being left or right and all of them. No shot. It's a mix of both. People are delusional thinking that people are going to be pure left or pure right. That makes no sense at all. So
we already have a centrist in charge. His name is Joe Biden. He has always consistently been one of the most conservative Democrats, like even keeled in the middle of the fucking political spectrum the entire time. Hillary Clinton was definitely a centrist
but I'm not referring to a centrist in that light. I'm referring to a centrist in the light of like policies and politics, right? Taking from both areas, right?
Like what? What would you like? This is a conversation that I have with people on the right all the time. It's like I would love to know what is a right wing value that you think it should be implemented.
Well, this we can save for the podcast.
Okay.
Or I
gotta give us one. Give us a taste, man.
Yeah, I want to hear from XQC too. He's the one who's saying radicalizing dumbass Andy is what he said.
Utopia Andy. He was saying,
Okay. No, don't listen to that. Just tell me what you think is a right wing value that we should implement.
Bro, I don't know what values there are overall. I don't watch the news.
Then why are you saying that?
Guns.
You Pepega motherfucker.
Guns and I think guns.
What about guns?
People that are right don't they want like more guns and shit like that?
Yeah, they want everyone to be armed. You want everyone to be armed?
Okay, not everyone.
Okay, that's not a right-wing value then. You want reasonable restrictions on guns, but you want people to be able to shoot guns if they want to?
I think
you're a radical communist now.
Genuinely, people that want, that have the ability and know and want to spend the time knowing how to use a gun should be allowed to have a gun, right? I think they should focus on fixing the people.
Okay. Quick question. It is not a gotcha, okay? Because I think you and I are in agreement on this.
I can answer after, by the way.
Do you think that there should be restrictions akin to a driver's license, like licensing system on the ownership of guns? Like if you want to get a gun, you can be able to get a gun. You should be able to get a gun, but you have to demonstrate that you know how to use it and demonstrate proper safety measures.
Fuck yeah! What the fuck?
You're a radical. You're a radical psychotic leftist. What the fuck? You are literally Mao and Stalin and Karl Marx together. That's how these dumb motherfuckers in America operate. You just said exactly what I believe with respect to gun control. That is not a right-wing value, motherfucker. That's a left-wing value, technically, with respect to how Americans operate. You're fucking Canadian, dog. What kind of right-wing attitude do you have? Give me another one.
If you don't have gun etiquette, okay, if you purchase a gun and you know nothing about it, it is more of a threat to everybody and yourself than your target. That's just what it is.
You're right, because it's common sense. It should not be a left-right thing. It should be the most understandable thing, and yet it's a left-right equation because people make it into a political issue. You and I are in agreement, and most Americans would agree as well. 90% of Americans believe in universal background checks, but we can't get them. You want to know why? Because there's one thing that's more important than whatever the Democratic Party claims or whatever the Republican Party claims. That's all fucking theater. That's all bullshit. You know what's important? Making money. You know who makes money? Gun manufacturers. You know what they don't want? Any kind of fucking restriction on who can get a gun. Okay? So they literally play this fucking song and dance over and over again after like a bazillion fucking children get slaughtered at schools where they go, the left supposedly goes, oh, fuck, we can't do anything about this. Oh, my God. And then the right goes, what?
Okay.
And then the right goes, nah, fuck that. What we need is more guns. We need to arm the teachers.
Well, in this case though, let's stop shaving off the responsibility. The person that commits a stupid ass act, it's their fault. What do you think? It's not fucking legally liable? Of course.
Yeah, of course they should go to jail. Yeah, like if that's what you think.
No, I said. You're twisting my word.
Wait, what are you saying?
The responsibility is the fucking person that does this dumbass shit, right?
Yes.
I think finding a billion things to blame, it doesn't help anybody. It's the people are brain dead, corrupt, idiotic, fucking psycho Andy. It's the what is it that I'm saying that is wrong?
Okay, you're correct. It is still up to the individual to do like heinous acts, and you're not wrong on that. I agree. Okay, but you understand that like the regulation that we're talking about is a necessity regardless, because no matter what happens, people are always going to do some fuck shit, right? People are always going to be crazy. So what you're supposed to do is at least try to limit the amount of crazy as best as you possibly can. And that's one form of restriction that you can implement that is common sense that a lot of people would agree with. The same thing as like a car, right? A car is a very dangerous thing. Right? Sometimes you can even have like a very expensive car that's cut in half. You know what I mean?
A car's a weapon. A car's a weapon.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Car's a weapon. Even if it's half of a car, it's still a weapon. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's how is that a leftist ideology to want people to not be a fucking brain dead, psycho, crazy, fucking double twisted brainstem Andy to own a gun? I don't get it.
Wait, I think it's better.
Look, I like guns. I like shooting guns. We shot guns together. You know I like shooting guns.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
So
I just think that...
Give me another one.
No, wait. Listen. Let me, instead of getting into these controversial topics, like...
Okay, give me a right wing. Give me a right wing policy, Train.
Yeah. I'll give you one, and then we'll save the rest. We'll save this conversation for like a podcast, because obviously you're way more like versed in this information. But I think I think a good one that could work in conjunction, right, with a compromise of left-wing values such as healthcare and education. If we can find the mixture between the two.
Okay, what's a right-wing value on healthcare or education that you agree with?
No, wait. I'm saying that what I'm about to say, if we find a way to make it work with compromise in conjunction with a healthcare system for the people who can't afford it, that should be a basic right. An education system that pushes for educating the average citizen, right? It's
none of what you described is a right-wing value.
No, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you the value that should work in conjunction with the left-wing values. So it'd be smaller government and a more efficient government, right? So that would be like a right-wing value. Hello?
You want a smaller government, which
a more efficient government.
You want a more efficient government
in conjunction with leftist programs or leftist policies.
Got it. Love that. Agreed. As far as smaller government goes, okay, none of these right-wing motherfuckers actually give a shit about smaller government other than deregulation. They love saying smaller government because that means lowering taxes and deregulation. Yes. What does deregulation
I would agree
do?
They don't live up to the value of that. But
yes,
that feels more like a red herring. Like what I'm saying is, I feel like we should, if we can have that smaller and more efficient government, right? Like reduce the bloating and all the bullshit, right? If we can have that work in conjunction with the systems of government that help the people,
buzzing,
right?
Bro.
Am I buzzing? That compromise.
Yeah, you are buzzing.
I'll reset it right here. That compromise would be a good example of taking a right-wing value, taking a left-wing value, and putting them together, finding a compromise that's efficient.
No, what you're describing is like an anarchist formation anyway, but it doesn't even matter because here's why. Because when you said you want to offer everybody education, that still has to be funded by the government, right? One of the biggest hurdles right now with respect to like educational equality,
a middle ground between the two, I think would be
okay. But like the issue currently with respect to like educational quality or healthcare quality and the outcomes that people have and the disparity that revolves around wealth disparity directly is a consequence of a lack of regulation for the government. If there was more regulation, here's a good example of regulation that you would like.
What we need, though,
regulation
right?
in the form of price controls for things like insulin.
We need the auditing of each branch of government, right? The auditing of each branch of government. Like these kind of things need to be implemented.
Okay, but so the auditors would be more government though. So you have unironically advocated for more government.
That's why in a more efficient government for a smaller government, those parts of the government can stay while other parts go, right? And what those parts that go are, we can go further into like on another conversation. But I do think that is a good middle ground, right? Taking a more efficient government, right? Keeping the branches and adding branches that audit, that regulate, that make sure there is no bullshit, spending and bloating and all that bullshit that's going on. And then implementing it with leftist values of government, right? If we can find that perfect
where's the
middle
bloat,
ground.
though? A lot of what you're just basically describing is get rid of the military. Like that's one form of bloat, if that's what you're saying. Right wingers consider a form of bloat to be when you are no longer a productive worker, like when you retire, when you're in retirement age, where you're no longer a productive laborer. You shouldn't be able to get Social Security.
Sir,
like that.
Sir,
what?
I watch the media on Twitter. Okay, this is new. I get my news from Twitter. How come leftist radicalized cockroaches are like spend zeros on military, stop spending on military, lol, stop. And then, so that happens in Ukraine and another country. Please help them fast. Use all the.
It's because of your misunderstanding of what it means to be a leftist or a liberal. These are considered to be like in the same bucket. Okay, that's what it is. That's why. Look, the amount of people that are saying true in your chat is so funny. I know none of these motherfuckers watch me now. This is what I know.
I'm trying to understand.
No, liberal. That's what I'm saying. Because liberals and Republicans ultimately align on certain values, especially when it comes to an inflated military budget. So there is no dissent on America's endless spending on the military. That's it. That's literally
when Sonny pops off. Then what do they send? Some fucking guy on a Vespa with a fucking Glock or some shit? Who's gonna help then?
There are very few people. There are very few people who are in support of like genuinely and significantly defunding the United States military. There's none. That's not a real thing. Like most of the New York Times readers who are liberals, like they still absolutely are advocating for still spending as many dollars as possible on the U.S. military, including all the money that you send over to Ukraine. Because ultimately, you know who makes money off that? Raytheon. You know who makes money off that? Northrop Grumman. You know who makes money off that? Boeing. Those are the motherfuckers who are actually making money. It's a self-reinforcing cycle that's subsidized by our tax dollars that we pay for the R&D side, for them to make new weapons, and then we send those weapons into Ukraine. We give money to Ukraine to buy the weapons that we fucking...
You need weapons. They need to have... I mean, isn't it like it's like the Cold War? They need to have the big weapons to flex the big weapons. Otherwise, some actual guy will actually build a big weapon. It'll be like, well, you guys don't have weapons that are as good as mine. Well, I'm about to fuck you guys over. Boom, and then boom. What do you think the Cold War was? What do you think going to the moon was? They went to the moon. Why? So they can show, yo, we have air superiority. We can go to space. We can fucking yoink this shit, right? That's what the whole Cold War was about. Are you gonna disintegrate the value of the Cold War?
You just described the arms race between fucking, like, you just described all of our dollars basically being dumped into the military-industrial complex.
Well, they have no other choice, I think.
No, they did it.
They let China build a fucking
okay, fun fact. One fun fact I'll give you. One fun fact I'll give you about nuclear proliferation. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's like now declassified and very openly talked about. But the CIA openly lied about how many arms the USSR had, so that they could justify additional spending on, defense strategies and systems like that. So like the nuclear arms race, at least on one front, was built around a lie, like an abject lie. So
why do people want to purposely be on the low ground then? You want to be controlled by the fact that other countries have more arms and they can control you and they control what you do because they're on the high ground. If they have more shit, then what? GG. Then people that are wrong and have bad ideologies in the world and they have the high ground, then they can do whatever they want, right?
Okay. This is a wonderful question. Here's the answer. Okay. Society is divided along class lines, and that the worker in fucking Russia and the worker in the United States of America have literally the same exact interests from their workplace and the way that they fucking generate value and the relations they have to the means of production, which is precisely the reason why, if there were more worker control over these sorts of things, we would be able to, at the very least, start the process of thinking about the world in a very different way that doesn't revolve around made up fucking national borders and things of that nature. And we would also have a mechanism of pushback towards the powers that be, that those who actually do control everything, every facet of society.
Okay, you know what, Hasan? I think that one of the main problems with your thinking, is you forget to remind yourself that humans are humans and we are just a bad, flawed species. I think you live in a world.
I agree. Wait, what do you mean? No, I completely fucking agree.
Well, it comes that you want to reroute every brain's thinking and their core fundamentals of it, even during survival, during development, so that people think in those ways. The reality is, people will default back to not thinking these ways.
You remember how you said the boss built the factory? When I corrected you and I said workers built that. When people talk about the iPhone, they're like, oh, you have an iPhone, socialism, Vuvuzela, Venezuela. Workers built that. That is a core principle that has been instilled upon you, when in fact, every single thing that you take advantage of, every single thing that you use has been created through collectivism. Like, many hands have touched every single aspect of your existence, and we don't even take that for granted. We don't even think about that. And that's and the reason why we don't think about it is because capitalism has basically created this social reinforcement that it's actually the capital owners that are the most productive. It's the Jeff Bezos of the world that deserve all the wealth. They're the ones who created everything. That's precisely the reason why you think like everyone is a rugged individualist and out for themselves and really fucking stupid. When in fact, when we get together, even if we have major disagreements on issues, we can still unite on certain values, like offering people health care. I'm not saying we're going to fix society tomorrow. I'm not saying that these are the perfect ways to fix society, but I'm simply stating that there are existing examples right now in the world that we can take from here in the United States of America at the heart of the imperial core and basically moved in that direction. And that would genuinely, truly improve the lives of so many people, poor people, destitute people, people living in fucking poverty, especially immigrants. We could do that. We have the capacity. We're the wealthiest nation on earth, and yet we choose not to. You want to know why? Because someone is always trying to earn a fucking tidy profit.
You know what you do then? They should go to president. Here's the easiest way to do it, man. You go to the president, and you make a law. You ban wills for 1 generation. If you die, right, all your money it just spreads back into the system.
I love that. I love what you're saying.
They cannot give the money to their fucking to their children, right? Everybody's back. It resets the playing field back to 0. Everybody has nothing. And you know what? You know what's weird about that? You know what's weird about that? Everybody has to go back out there in the same rules as everybody else and bust their ass off, man.
No, that's that. You're what you're advocating for is actually a great idea. But again, I think Japan does that after 3 generations, as someone was saying in my chat. But yeah, you're right. You're so right about that. Like a fucking hardcore server reset. You know what I mean? Tarkov style,
Okay.
wipe.
Okay. I. Let me get back at you. In my opinion, here's my slogan: bring back good parenting. I think that most of our problems I have these days, motherfucker, okay, with social media, with other things, is that people are bad parents. They suck ass, and they should not have children. There should be a ban on being dumb as fuck and having children. Sorry, I said it, man. I said it.
I think the first
okay,
thing
what you're describing is something that, you know, I don't know if you know the implications of what you're saying. There some other people made that argument as well. I'm sure you didn't mean it in that way, but that is a conservative argument. You know, the ultimate conservative made that argument. It's eugenics. It's eugenics. What you're describing is eugenics. Like dumb people shouldn't have children.
Well, no. Because listen. Listen. People said, listen. I agree with this 100%. Okay. Because I was thinking, okay, I saw some sneak over there. They're like cuties. It's a fucking disaster. Absolute oversight, despicable, dog shit, trash, deviant, garbanzo. Right? And then it made me think, right? If these is at Netflix, producer shows where children are sexualized and they're greenlit by these guys for it to be published, right? What are we to say about parents that let their children, because children cannot make decisions, right? Only their guardian or legal guardian, right? How come a lot of videos don't fucking say no about this? There's a crazy amount, insane, very ingrained in our culture, for people that are under 18 to sexualize themselves on the internet via social media and their posts on TikTok and other platforms. If their parents are their legal guardians and they greenlight and allow them to post such things, what is the difference between cuties and that as a parent? What's the difference?
I don't disagree with you. I think it's like I do think it's fucked up. I think both are fucked up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where you want to go with that. I think that children do spend a lot of. I do think that children do spend a lot of time on social media, which is weird for us to be having this conversation, especially you. You're like advocating to eliminate half the fucking juicers from their juice time. You know what I mean? How the fuck are they gonna sit there and watch? But
yo, I don't make people fucking go out there and sexualize themselves as fucking.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I do think that like it rots people's brains the amount of time that they spend on the internet.
Yeah, but in my opinion, running your brain, right, is fine. In ways that are deviant and also fuel and empower weirdos and deviants themselves is a massive problem. Also, I asked earlier, what are some concepts?
I have to pee. You're cooking though. You're fucking cooking right now. I gotta pee. I'll be back in a second. I want to hear more right-wing takes from you guys.
I have some topics lined up for things for my takes. Okay, I don't even know about it. I have a two-party system, freedom of speech, taxing the poor, voter registration, immigration. You know what? Without even knowing what the left and the right is about both of it, I'm going to ask them to run me through them, right? And have my opinion about it straight up. No filter, no reading the chat, live freestyle. And whether that makes me a right or wing, so be it then. I don't give a fuck. Yo, and then you're thinking that I give a fuck. I'm not going to be your bot that has all the good takes. I'm going to give you my take. And you know what it is? It's either going to be a good take or you too stupid to understand it. Also, about children being weird on TikTok and posting weird shit, Kanye was right. You hate to fucking hear it. Because of all the bad things that he had over the past months, you hate to hear something like, Kanye was right. Fuck it, dude. I said it, man. Get schmolled. Kanye was right. Plus. Kim Kardashian was wrong. Plus L. plus L plus ratio about the social media thing. Okay, with like his children like posting on TikTok, it should be monitored or not. It shouldn't be able to do it. Yep, that is what I think. Add context. I already said that. I already said this. I already said it was about the fucking children and the fucking parenting over social media. I genuinely think Kanye was right. That's what I think.
Well, he asked me for a core right-wing value, and I think that the small, more efficient government, right, in conjunction with leftist policies, could work. Right. The problem is that's the middle ground that would have to be found. Right. The good of both sides.
What kind of insane takes did I miss while I was pissing? That was a long one. I've drank more water than I have in so long during this entire thing.
I said Kanye was right about the fucking social media posting of his children or whatever compared to Kim Kardashian, even though but people are so ingrained in society and to their fucking phone screens and they're so terminated online, they forgot what is social media decency and we should be posting at certain ages. And they just completely sidetracked.
I think hot take. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, obviously, you didn't just say Kanye was right, but I do think that like parents should be a little bit more responsible about like what their children are posting on the internet.
He did say that.
I give context, but I did say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last one. We can have this conversation again at a later date because like I am so tired. It's 10. I've been live for 11 hours.
Yeah.
You accept the right-wing core value that I gave, though? Instead of arguing into it.
Smaller government? No, I think
in conjunction with
no, I mean, I believe in efficiency for sure, but like
if we can combine the two, right? If we can bring the leftist, more left policies into play into the government, right? And reduce the bloating, the corruption through audited systems and shit like that, regulations, right? I think that's the compromise we'd make for those two values, right? Does that make any sense? I mean, obviously it is more idealistic.
No, we need more. I personally think we need more regulation, what we would consider to be bloat and government interference.
Corruption, all that bullshit.
I think that it would be better. It would be more beneficial if the government had more bloat and more people and more funding to basically deliver the needs necessary, because small government means corporate control.
Huh?
That's how it works.
That's the part where we make the compromise, right? So
but I do believe in making the government more
good
efficient.
From both. Yeah, so if we take the good from both of those values, no. I know he's referring to something else. If we can take, right, the good of both of these values of government, right?
Bro, your mic is going crazy.
Jesus, this fucking cocksucking mic. Is it better? Hello?
Yeah, it's better that way.